Everyone, how you doing? It's Mr. Montgomery again. Today we are starting a brand new unit, and I'm pretty sure we're also going to be using our brand new Robot and Turtle books, our Volume 2. So on the side of your book, on the edge of your book, where all the pages connect, it should say VOL.2. Okay? And the page that we are going to be on is 325. 325. Okay, so it's volume 2, 325. If for some reason the pages don't match up, pause the video, ask your teacher, and make sure that you have the correct book. Okay? So for this lesson, we are going to use some crayons or colored pencils. So if you have some crayons or colored pencils around the house, go ahead and go get those, because it's definitely going to make this lesson way more fun. Alright, so if you don't have them, pause the video, go get your materials, and then when you're ready, hit the play button. So if the video is still playing, I'm going to guess that you guys already have your colored pencils ready, and we're just going to continue. Let me clear up this page right here. Okay, so let's read what we're going to be doing today. It says, use the counters and 10 frames to show the numbers 12, then 15, and then 18. Draw your counters in the 10 frames below. Tell what is the same and different about each number you show. Okay, so we're going to start with our number 12. Okay, so we're just going to draw our 12 dots, okay? And then I'm going to go into a little bit of detail afterwards. So you can pick any color you like. Since we have a blue 10 frame here, I'm going to use red. And we're going to make some dots and count at the same time until we get to 12 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now let's stop right there and let's check something real quick. I'm going to show you guys something really cool. It's going to make using 10 frames way easier. Not only to use 10 frames, but also to read 10 frames. So let's look again at our number 12 here. We have a 1 in the tens place. And how many 10 frames did we completely fill up with red dots? How many 10 frames are completely full? Just 1. And it's this top one right here. It's completely filled with red dots. So when we have a full 10 frame, we have a 1 in the tens place. Now let's look at the next number in our ones place. We have a 2 in the ones house right here. And then how many red dots are in our second 10 frame? Well, we just have 2 red dots, right? And those are the leftovers, and they make our ones. Okay, so for the number 12, we will have 1 completely filled 10 frame, and then 2 red dots left over in another 10 frame when we make the number 12. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen with the number 15? How many 10 frames do you think we're going to completely fill with red dots? Do you think we're going to fill just one of them? Or are we going to fill both of them? What do you think? Go ahead and just think to yourself real quick. How many 10 frames are going to fill up? If you said we are going to completely fill up one whole 10 frame, you are completely right. You are totally right. But how do we know that we will fill up one full 10 frame if we have 15 dots? Because if we look at that tens house number, right, we have a 1 in the tens house. So that 1 in the tens house tells us we will fill up one 10 frame because we have one set of 10. And then how many do you think are going to be left over and put in the second 10 frame? How many dots are going to be put in the second 10 frame here? Do you think there's going to be like 2 dots? Are we just going to like draw 2 dots here? Nah, that's not enough dots for number 15. Are we going to draw 4 dots? Would that be enough to make 15 if we fill up this whole top 10 frame? No, that won't be enough either. But you know what? There's something that can help us. If we look at this number in the ones house right here, it's the number 5. And that tells us how many dots are going to be in this second 10 frame. All right, so we can go ahead and grab another color. Since we have red here, I'm going to use blue. So we know that since we have a 1 in the tens house, that this whole top 10 frame is going to be completely filled with dots. We don't even have to count them. We just know that this whole top 10 frame should be completely full, because when a 10 frame is full, we already know that there are 10 dots. And then for our ones number, right, we have a 5. And we know that if we fill up the top row of a 10 frame, we have 5. And this is how we would make the number 15 with 10 frames. So let's just repeat that one more time. So since we have a 1 in the tens house here, that means we fill up one whole 10 frame. And since we have a 5 in the ones house, where the red line is, that means we have 5 dots in the second 10 frame. Now, I'm going to let you go ahead and try the number 18 on your own. So go ahead and try on your own making the number 18 in these two 10 frames. Okay, now if you're still working, that's okay. Hit the spacebar, pause the video, and finish your work. Now, if you're all done, we're going to continue and go over how we should fill up these 10 frames and make the number 18. You know what? I'm going to use some red dots again. Okay, so let's look at our number 18. We look at our tens place. What number is in that tens place? We have a 1. So there is a 1 in the tens house here. So that means we need to fill up one entire 10 frame. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't even have to count. It's craziness. I don't even have to count. I just already know I have to fill up a whole 10 frame. And next, we're going to look at our ones house number. Now I'm going to underline this guy in green. Our ones house number is underlined in green. What number is that? It's the number 8. So that means I have to make 8 dots in this second 10 frame. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now this you might need to count, or if you're really good with your math skills, you might realize that if you just keep 2 spaces open, that makes 8. Okay, and here's how we would make the number 18 with our 10 frames. We have one 10 frame that is completely full, and then we have another 10 frame that just has 8 dots. Okay, so now let's turn the page and check out what we're going to be doing on the next page that has to do with tens and ones. Alright, so after you turn the page once, you should be on page 326. I'm going to zoom in right here so you see the page number. It's a 3, a 2, and a 6. 326. Alright, and on this page, you should see a little boy up top, and he's playing with some 10 frames, and he's making some numbers with them. So we're going to be working a lot with the numbers 11 all the way through the numbers 19. And maybe, just maybe, even the number 20. Okay? So let's walk through number 1 together and see what on earth is going on. So what they're doing is that they're giving us the word for the number. And if you are not sure what word it is or what number they're telling us, just take that word right there and try to find it up top. Because I know some of these can be a little difficult to read. So it says 12. If I'm not sure it says 12, I'm going to look up here for that same word. And oh, it's right here in the blue. And I see the number 12 right next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this number 12 right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Much better. So the number 12 is, they're telling us that it has 1 10. That's super important. So it's just saying that there is a 1 in the tens place right there. There's that 1 in the tens place. And it has how many ones? And we just look at the tens place and see, the ones place, and we look at that number. So remember, the ones place is right there. It's on the right-hand side. And the tens place is always going to be on the left side. Okay? So we have a 1 in the tens, and we have a 2 in the ones. All right? Okay, now I'm going to do something a little different than usual. I'm going to walk us through number 2 as well before I have you go off on your own to try the 1 all by yourself, because this is a little different from our beginning of the lesson. So for number 2, we're going to look at this word right here. And if I don't know what it says, I'm going to look at those letters and match it with the letters up top. And I'm going to look, and go, oh, it's right here. Just in case I couldn't read it because it's a big word. And right next to it, I see the number 14. So I'm going to write the number 14 in the box. A 1 and a 4. You know, I'm going to write these in 2 different colors. I'm going to write the 10s with blue, and I'm going to write the 1s in red, just so they stand out a little bit for you. So here's the number 14, a 1 and a 4, and it's telling us that it has a 1 in the tens place, and how many ones? Well, in blue we had our tens. Kind of underline that in blue. There's our tens house, our tens number, and in red I'm going to underline our ones. So what number is in the ones place? It's a 4. So we know that there are 4 ones. So the number 14 has a 1 in the tens house and a 4 in the ones house. That's all there is to it. That's all we're doing. Okay, so try number 3 on your own. Okay? Try number 3 on your own. Look at the word right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Try to sound it out. If you can't, look at those letters and match it up with the words at the top of your paper. Oh, and of course, then write that number in the box. And write down how many ones are in the ones house for that number. Okay, if you're still working, that is totally fine. Make sure you pause the video and work at your own pace. When you're all set, hit the play button, and we'll just continue. All right, so if the video is still playing, I'm going to guess that you have already finished this and you want to check your work, which is A-okay with me. So this word here is the number, or is the word 15. So it's telling us that they want us to write the number 15 down. I'm going to just double check. I see the word here. I'm looking at all those letters, and I'm going to match it up. And here it is at the very top. Boom. And I see the number 15. So I'm going to go ahead and write it in the box. Oh, you know, I totally forgot what I was going to do. I'm going to write the tens number in blue. Why didn't it go blue? Our tens is written in blue, so it stands out. And I'm going to write our ones number in red. So they're already telling us that there is a 1 in the tens place, right? We see that. Our blue number is the number 1. But how many, or what number do we have in the ones house? What number do we have? Well, it's right there. The ones place never changes. We have a 5. Okay, so we have a 5 in the ones house. So normally at this point, I would let you guys go off on your own and do the online activity. I actually would like us to just do one more together on the next page. So let's look over at the next page, and I would like for you to try just one more on your own before doing the online activity. All right, so now everyone should be on page 327, 327. If not, pause the video, find that page, and then we'll continue. But if you're on that page, let's keep going. So I just want to explain number 4 real quick before we get started, or before I let you try it on your own. So what you're going to do is, of course, the same as before. Here is the word for the number. You're going to write it in the box, but this time they want you to write down what number is in the tens place, okay? They want to know how many tens are in that number. All right? So remember, if you're having trouble reading this, on the page we were just on, they have all of the words and numbers that go with it on that previous page. Okay? But if you're able to read it, awesome. That is awesome. So go ahead and try number 4 on your own, guys. Try this one on your own. Okay, if you're still working, that's fine. Pause the video. If not, we're going to go over this one together. So this is the word 16. And how we write the number 16 is, of course, we have a 1 in the tens place. And we have a 6 in the ones place. Okay, and now how many tens do we have in the number 16? Well, we look at our tens house, which is that first number, and we have a 1. So we just write a 1. We have 1 10, and then we have, of course, 6 ones that we see right here. And that's it. That's all there is to it, guys. Now, if you're not in my classroom, stop the video here, pause it, let your teacher know that you are all done the video, and ask him or her what they would like for you to do next, just in case their activity is different than mine. And now for my class. My class, I have an online activity, as always, from the SAVVAS site, and I'm going to show you how to get there now. Now, to get to our assignment, what we need to do is, of course, click on that man in the blue box up top. You'll get to our Google Classroom, and then click on Classwork. And then once you get in, you will see in the assignments, it says 8-1, Quick Check, and the link will be right there. There are only about 3 questions. You'll get done it pretty quick. After that, as soon as you're done, go ahead onto the Pink Cat Games Winter Picture Maker, practice some old skills from before, make sure your skills are nice and sharp, and that's it. So I hope this video helped you guys. I hope that you understood the lesson very well. If you have any questions, if you're confused, please let me know. I will try my best to clear up anything you might be confused about. Okay? Besides that, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.